Like when you explain that, the homeowners always love sitting around the fire pit, looking over the lake, watching the sunset because it's perfectly aligns in the fall season after football games. Whatever it is, there's some little story you can tell, and there's really 10 or 20 stories you can tell about that property.
This is Davy's Doghouse. If you're a home seller or soon to be one, we'll throw you a bone. Hey everybody, Dave Foster here, Fontaine Family, the real estate leader. I'm a full-time professional realtor in the state of Maine, and I help my clients sell for a lot of money through the use of video-first marketing. And today I have Jason Gruner on the podcast at the Doghouse, and we're bringing the Doghouse down to Nashville, Tennessee, right, Jason?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and Jason's somebody that I've seen online quite a bit, does a great job not only marketing the properties, but also explaining what the marketing does and the value of that marketing to a home seller. Some of those things, including print marketing, which a lot of people don't think about, social media marketing. So, Jason, why don't we just get right into it, and you can kind of explain what your process is when you talk to a home seller about how you're going to use all the aspects of marketing.
Yeah, I just take a little bit different approach than most real estate agents when it comes to listing a home. I know that, traditionally it's sign in the yard, take professional photos, talk about it at your office meeting, and then kind of wait for buyers agents to bring buyers to that property. When I take on a listing, I have a full scale 10 to 14 day game plan that we're going to go through to go out there and find these buyers, because it's easy to go get the buyers that are active or on Zillow every day and are working with an agent. That's not hard. If you just put on the MLS, you'll wind up with that. But I want to take an approach where I'm going to be proactive to go find those folks who have kind of been looking, have searched online a little bit, or just starting the process, and put marketing in front of them about my client's listing to get them excited about a property to potentially come out and view it and then ultimately buy it. And we've just found great results when we do that. We wind up with just much more activity, more showings, more offers, which ultimately leads to a quicker sale and a higher price for our clients that list and go through our program with us.
Nice. And so, all the agents want to do that, right? They all say they want to do that. But what I found was interesting about looking at some of your examples and your case studies online was that what most people stop at is, yeah, we do social media marketing, or we do Facebook posts or whatever, but they don't really get into what they're actually doing and what that means to the seller, where that value comes from. So in looking at the one where you did the lake house,
Yep.
you had a long form video, a walkthrough tour, which you do a lot of, where you're actually in the tour, like on HGTV, walking through the home.
Sure.
But you tell us what you did once you got that long form video done for the rest of the marketing.
Sure, absolutely. So we start with, that's kind of the core thing. If I can get someone to watch a 5 or 10 minute video of a property, then I know they're pretty interested in it. And we film those, and I prefer to do agent on camera just because it puts some personality with it, and you have an agent walking through and pointing out both the high points of the property and also telling the stories about it. I can't tell you how many times I've had buyers that come to showings and we end up talking to them, and they really key on these little points and these little stories, because it's an emotional connection that they've already developed for that house that you can't get through just pictures, or even just like, a video fly through, or it just kind of goes through the house and doesn't really tell any stories about it. But like when you explain that, the homeowners always love sitting around the fire pit, looking over the lake, watching the sunset because it's perfectly aligns in the fall season after football games. Whatever it is, there's some little story you can tell, and there's really 10 or 20 stories you can tell about that property that get people excited about it. So that's why I do the long form video with the agent on camera telling stories about the home. So we take that video, we market that long form video directly to people through both YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok. We put it everywhere. And we market that to people who have previously searched for that type of home before. So in that specific instance, it was Nashville lakefront homes, Tennessee lakefront homes. So we market that long form video. We also then take, while I'm there shooting a long form video, we try to film 10 short form vertical videos where we capture just small little moments in the house. Like in that one, I'm just trying to remember, is like, it had a really cool back porch that was overlooking the water. It had they refinished the whole kitchen and put new cabinets in. So we talked about that. And, just like, hey, one thing we notice in lakefront homes is that the kitchen is usually an afterthought, but in this one, they've completely redone it. It's turnkey. It's a chef's kitchen. And it's just a little thing like that really gets people excited. And it's so easy to take those 10 short form videos, you put a little bit of marketing money behind them, you get 5, 10, 20, some of them go viral, 50,000 views, and it just stacks up and just multiplies that exposure that you're getting for this home. And they all point back to, we usually build a single property website for the property, or we just send them to the YouTube video so they can watch it and hopefully become more engaged. Because again, our whole goal is to get them interested in the property any way we can, whether that's through pictures, short form video, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, whatever it may be, and even postcards, because we do a lot of direct mail as well, and get them to the point where they watch that long form video, because that's the thing that really sets off that process of them falling in love with the home. Because once they show up to the house, they've seen a handful of videos about it. They've watched a long form video. They're telling the stories that I told on the video about the home while they're there. So it's just a totally different equation than someone who's out looking at 5 homes, has no idea about this one, and has only seen the pictures of it on Zillow. It's just a totally different equation. It just makes it much, much easier. You break down all those walls when the buyers come in, and they're just focusing on how this home is going to make their life better if they buy it.
Yeah, that's great. And I would assume that you're working with the client in building the stories. So
100%.
You can look around, obviously, but the clients live there for 5, 10, 20 years. They know all the nooks and crannies.
Yep.
One of the videos I did recently was a older woman who was leaving the home. Her husband had passed away, and she was very sad. And we ended up putting her in the video, telling the story about how they came down from wherever and found this farm back in the 1940s. And it was great. And people really, I got a lot of comments on that video, because not only did she do a good job telling the story, but it was a story, right?
100%. And the reason they bought the home is probably similar to the reason someone else is going to buy it.
Kudos to you for doing that. And I know it's a lot of work, but you seem to have systemized it so it can actually be replicatable without being a burden, right? Because we only have so much time.
Exactly. And as long as you document it and, hey, what worked on this one? Okay, that didn't work. Let's not do that. Let's try something different. As long as you're, you're constantly evolving. Because 5 years ago, no one did reels or short form, and hardly anybody did video. And so the industry just keeps continuing to transform.
Yeah.
The other thing we do is we get pretty aggressive with direct mail. On that one, we sent 5 postcards out throughout the process of coming soon, just listed, under contract, sold, case study, success story, through that whole neighborhood.
So again, thanks so much.
Absolutely.
And when I get down to Nashville, when I hit it rich with my music, I'll come down and we'll go out to lunch. I'll take you out.
Love to.
All right. Thanks, Jason.
All right, David.